Hello, I'm Toycat, and a lot of people forget that Minecraft is the game where no one can tell you what you can and cannot do. And by that I mean a lot of people try to tell you that there's only one way you can build. There's only one way you can farm a particular item, and it has to be the most efficient way. Even if the most efficient way requires 4 to 6 hours of setup that you don't enjoy, you have to do it. But the truth is, sometimes you don't want to go through a lot of setup. Sometimes you want to enjoy Minecraft the way you do, but you want to get, say, some experience along the way. And that's why I like easy farms. That's why I like, for instance, if you want to get yourself a lot of usable items and experience at the same time, a cow farm is really easy. Just dig a hole in the ground, put some cows in it, and then start using wheat to breed the cows together, and all of a sudden you've got yourself a cycle that can repeat and repeat and repeat until you get more and more and more cows, because 2 wheat plus 2 cows equals 1 baby cow, which eventually will grow up and can be bred with the other cows. This means that for the low price of just a few minutes of digging a hole in the ground or making a fence or doing anything like that and some wheat, you can end up with a lot of experience, and eventually, if you decide to slaughter some of the cows, you can end up with a lot of beef and a lot of leather. However, what if you don't decide to slaughter the cows? One of the farms I've had in Minecraft for a really long time now is something like 60-ish cows just all chilling in the same hole, and it looks really hectic. A lot of people comment on this and say, hey, these cows don't look so good, and I agree, these cows really don't look so good. And I'm gonna be entirely honest, yeah, this isn't really that great for the cows. It's only possible because Minecraft Bedrock does something that most other console mobile games don't do, and that is it allows you to have as many things on screen as you like, and the frame rate will just suffer to compensate at some level. The game tries not to make you lose out on resolution or frame rate, but eventually it will compromise those things to allow you to do what you want to do in the game, even if that means making as many cows as humanly possible. By the way, look at this. The cows kind of work like a fluid that you can condense into one spot, and then uncondense by just removing their incentive to move towards the same spot. But my point in mentioning all of this is that there's no limit to how many cows you can have in a certain space, as long as it's not more than 24 in a single block, meaning that a single block can hold 24 cows, and if you have all of this, you can have a lot of cows or pigs or sheep or chickens or any other animal, and this raises the question, how many cows is too many cows for Minecraft to handle? So given that the functional limit of how many cows we could have in a space is so high, it raises the question of what is the practical limit for the number of cows or pigs or whatever you want to have in your, farm, and that's a question I wanted to kind of ask and answer today, because it's been a really long time since I tested this, and I figured why not test it in my survival world? What could go wrong with a great idea like that? Because more cows equals more experience, equals more possibilities to breed, equals more experience, equals more beef at the end, right? And if you think about it, it's the most humane thing to do. People hate it when you kill animals, and you know what's really great? Creating new animal lives that you can, live in a great way. So we're just gonna breed animals, and then breed animals, and then breed animals over and over and over again, and we're gonna raise the question, how many cows is too many? And then I'll also talk about other easy ways to use your experience efficiently, because I feel like, why not have a Minecraft tutorial that has a little bit of a fun lesson regarding cows in it too. So just in case you want a guide on how to get experience and then how to spend the experience, but also you want to do so in a way that breaks the game at least a little bit, well, that's what we can see in today's video. And already the game is having rendering issues with these cows bumping into each other so fast, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes when we actually get to the intense numbers, because we're coming up on 100 cows after one breeding round, but again, that's nowhere near enough to get to the stage where we cause actual game-wide issues, so let's go a little bit further on this one. By the way, in case you're curious as to how I'm going to get all the wheat that I'm using in today's video, I do have a little bit of a wheat farm. It might go from, this height all the way to sky height, but let's not focus on the wheat farm right now. We're focused on the cows. I just wanted to let you know that the wheat does come from somewhere, and generally speaking, wheat farms are just as easy as cow farms to set up. So if you're going to do this, then make your own wheat farm and slowly expand it using the numerous amount of seeds that you're going to get along the way. So yeah, pro tip. The way those pistons load in is really unsettling. Like, I'm moving this way, why are they loading in that way? Also, since I'm not sure I fully explained why cow farms or chicken farms or any other meat farm is such a great source of experience, as well as the byproducts you get alongside of it, it's because of the fact that every time you breed animals together, you get some experience, as well as getting a brand new animal, which eventually can be bred for experience, which means that it's an infinite, cycling loop, where as long as you have the wheat to feed them, you have the experience you can get from them, and then you also get the other products that come along with it. And this loop is infinite until you get too many cows, which is why we're experimenting today, and we're on the second breeding round, so we've gone from like 60-ish cows to close to 100, and we should end up, because every 2 cows should breed together, at close to 150 after this round. Then on our third run, we should end up with over 200 cows, I mean to be precise, like 225 or something like that, and you get the point. It goes exponential from here, because for every 2 cows you get another cow, but you're making new cows, which is wonderful. Yeah, right now, it seems as though the cows are the only thing that are lagging. Like, you can see they're moving like 1 frame a second, but I'm moving pretty fine otherwise, so Maybe that's a new Minecraft feature, but it's pretty bizarre to look at, to say the least. By the way, useful pro tip that I've learned from the internet that definitely works is that if you're having, girl or guy difficulties and you want them to see you as a more serious relationship candidate, all you have to do is say, what if we were cows in Minecraft and Steve fed us wheat, JK, unless, and as far as I've seen, this has a 99% success rate. So try it on your crush today, and then if she doesn't like it, say, lol, that was just ironic. And then just keep your feelings locked inside as long as you can, because you know what? Feelings are better on the inside than the outside. That's why repression exists. It's definitely a good idea. It's why all therapists recommend repressing things like this. Once another 5 minutes passes, you can go through and you can do it again. Because, fun fact, that's the cooldown timer. It's 5 minutes to breed more cows. It's 20 minutes to have your baby cows grow up. And yeah, it's crazy, just like that, within 20 minutes and 4 breeding passes, we've gone from level 27 to level 30, which isn't too much effort given that we're, mostly here to have the experiment fun, etc. But yeah, you can get experience really fast without even considering the eventual slaughter that's going to come, because who needs slaughter? It's 2019, no one likes animal death, right? Instead, though, we can move on to actually helping you use the experience that you're going to get in an efficient and helpful way. Again, focusing on the kind of ground up stuff, the stuff that'll actually help you in your normal survival world, because here's the deal, right? A lot of people don't know that levels actually get harder to get as you go up them. So getting from level 29 to 30 is easier than getting from level 30 to 31, which means you always want to spend your levels once you hit level 30, unless you're repairing or something, because at level 30, you can enchant anything and everything as long as you have the, lapis lazuli and an item to enchant. You'll never find a level requirement higher than 30 in the enchantment table, because that's as high as it gets, even once you've maxed out all the bookshelves. And again, bearing in mind that it's harder to go from 30 to 31 than it is to go back from 29 up to 30, it's just more experience efficient to always go to the enchantment table once you get to level 30, if you humanly can. In our case, for the record, we just want efficiency, because I don't really want a silk touch shovel too badly. And yeah, just like this, you're going to see, oh, it's level 29, easy to get level 30 now. So while installing the texture pack for the first time, I don't know what happened. I've never seen this with any other texture pack, but all of the textures in Minecraft just stopped working, which means every single texture, every single one of them is replaced. All the names are gone. Everything is just these now. There's just the square 0 brackets for the length of the name. Nothing has a name, nothing has a texture. This is the opposite of highly detailed stuff. Even water is just these, blue and black squares. Because everything in Minecraft looks like this. Is this beautiful? I almost think so, actually. What if Minecraft, but there was no detail at all? This is what Minecraft would be like with no detail at all. Oh, animals work. That's nice. By the way, the thing about the time, again, the time in your world generally breaks when certain tick cycles start to break. And I thought like, oh yeah, time moves just fine. I mean, look at it right now. The time is ticking down. But then I noticed it's been 20 minutes and the sun didn't look like it's moved at all. But yet, whenever I look at it, it looks like it's moving. The reason behind that is that it's adjusting itself, like just there. It's just ticking back. It's taking 10 steps forwards and 9 steps back. And as a result, I don't think some of these cows are ever going to age. So yeah, this is peak cowdom. We're not going to have the baby cows grow up. It's just going to take far too long. My point today is that like, oh yeah, I'm kind of testing a point while also doing something really useful for the future too. Because in case you ever see like, so like how do you have enough food, especially when it's good food like cooked beef, the pro tip is, even if you just spend a couple hours doing a full experiment like this is going to provide me, especially if I stand here, it's actually going to take a really long time. Pro tip, don't get to the point where your game lags because you just waste your real world time. But yeah, 1,000 cows looks like this. Every time we click cow, it makes no difference to the overall abundance. So we're going to be here for quite some time. But what we're going to end up with is going to be a lot of cooked beef. You can see how already my inventory is stacking up. We've killed just a few cows. We're not even swinging that often because, again, the game, we can't swing our fist very often with, lag this level. But all we have to do is jump and kill cows over and over and over, and you're going to notice how our steak amount is going crazy high. We get experience when we kill the cows, and if we didn't happen to have a flame cow. Oh, I just realized it's making it so much worse because we're lighting cows. Probably not this one. But yeah, you can get experience in 3 ways from a cow farm, and even doing one big batch like this. I'm not going to spoil it because I don't know the numbers myself. But I'm not going to spoil it. But I'm going to end up with hundreds of steak, right? I mean, it doesn't take a genius to work out. 1,000 cows equals probably many thousands of steaks. But we're making actual progress. The frame rate has gone up, and it barely matters, but like, look, it almost looks like a game rather than a slideshow now. And yeah, we're gonna put the steak inside this red, shulker box, because this is my portable I need food box. So we might as well max it out with steak, because you never know when you're gonna need to take 13 stacks of steak with you somewhere. It's a reasonable situation we all find ourselves in sometimes. Oh, we finally got the sun to move. Wait, I'll cut that breeze, but when nighttime comes. Okay, 8 minutes in, and nighttime has fallen, which means we've finally gotten past the point where our time is just setting back repeatedly. That's good progress to make. Also, look at this. We can see this cow dying, like, more than every second now. So the rest should actually start going past. Oh, look! We suddenly passed the critical point where Minecraft looks normal again. It looks like we're just jumping. That's what I like to see. Try not to hit the baby cows, by the way. Like, I'm having genuine difficulties believing that Minecraft isn't running at super speed right now. Like, am I going crazy? You know, you can tell me in the comments down below, and I'll probably realize when I watch the video back. But right now, looking at this, it's like, yeah, this is going way too fast. Something's a problem. I found a glitch in Minecraft. It feels like, even though I know mentally, like, that can't be true. It's gotta just be that, like, this feels far beyond normal to me. Okay, so I really want to believe this is more than just a feeling. What I feel like is actually happening is the game is trying to keep a constant speed, and because it knows for so long it's been trying to speed up, not slow down, it's going a little bit more than 100% sometimes. Like, it's going up and down in speed. The speed is highly variable, is what I'm saying. And I think that must be true, because a lot of the time these cows are moving way too fast. If we eat, as we'll see in a second, when we eat at really weird, changing paces. Like, listen to me eat. Maybe that is normal, actually. Yeah, I think I definitely am just going crazy. So yeah, we've gone back down to a pretty normal amount of cows now, like 100 and something, maybe. I'm gonna try and move them using water just to see, like, a way. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And the frame rate is just about back to normal as we get back to the normal number of cows. And one of the things I will say about this process is, you know, this was a weird evening. I started recording it close to midnight. I'm finishing recording a little bit after 2 a.m. So what I want to say right here is that this was a very, very, very strange recording time, and it might have been a weird experiment run. You might say, well, like, you know what was going to happen. You knew the game was going to break slowly, and you were going to fix it. But the truth is, while doing this, while kind of proving an interesting experiment, while doing something really basic anyone can do, I've ended up with so much cooked beef. So I've got this many stacks in this chest. I've got an entirely full shulker box, at least all the spare slots, filled with cooked beef. I've got this chest over here with pretty much every spare slot filled with the cooked beef. And then I've still got all these stacks, on me. Basically, I'm talking like I have a chest and a half, maybe 2 full chests worth of cooked beef. How much is that going to cover? A serious amount. It's hard to stress that a stack of cooked beef or steak will last you for so long. It will last you many, many hours, of doing stuff. And now we have many, many many hours of doing stuff because we have stacks upon stacks upon stacks of cooked beef. And yeah, the handy thing about doing a big thing like this, one big, you know, like breeding and killing of the cows, is you can kind of not worry about it from then on. Like, the truth is, one of the big lessons you'll learn from this video is that you can only have so many mobs in your world. You should have known that before, but it is a fact of you know, life, whether you know it or not. And knowing that, like, oh yeah, keeping a cow farm around does have some costs, means that I can get rid of the cows, and I'll be doing that for the download this Let's Play world, by the way. I can get rid of these cows, and I can lower the burden on, you know, me loading up the world. It's funny because the cows, even though there is like a normal number of them, an amount that could roam here pretty nicely, pretty freely, they're still stuck to their old logic where they're kind of glued together. So these two cows are like stuck inside each other's throats, it seems. It's either romantic or weird, I'm not sure which, but then all of these other cows are like glued together in weird groups. So really, we're doing the nice thing by putting them out of their misery. But yeah, you've got to realize that like having 50 cows might not seem like it lags your world, but it does take some of the resources away, especially when you're nearby them. And when you have a lot of like different projects of this same caliber nearby, you can forget that the game is meant to run pretty normally when you're killing cows. It's not meant to be slow, it's meant to be super fast and responsive like this. So yeah, do yourself a favor, do one big breeding run. The breeding run to end all breeding runs, spend a couple hours, kill your cows, and yeah, you won't regret it. Well, I mean, you might regret it actually. And just like that, we've reduced the lag in our world. We've gotten more beef than, I don't know, you can shake a stick at, question mark. To do the quick maths actually here, because I'm sure you want to know that one. We've got ourselves 16 stacks in here, and then we've got ourselves 24 stacks in there. That's 40 stacks of 60. 40 times 64. You do the maths yourself. Okay, I'll do the maths because this is a YouTube video. Wow, Google, 40 times 64. It's 2,560 bits of steak. And I think that's undercounting it because there's some other beef I've left lying around. So we got thousands of bits of beef. And in case you're ever curious, like, so Toycat, how did you get so much beef and how much leather, you know, to make item frames and whatnot? The answer is, you do one big breeding and killing run. And that was a pretty inefficient breeding and killing run too. And you can be set within an hour or two, or maybe 3. The point of this video and the point of this technique is you can suffer once and get a lot of suffering out of the way. It's actually something I do in a lot of my life, like when I was in college. They gave out like the lessons they were going to do all year. I had like one every single term or like every single like 3 months. What I do is like have one like power day where I try and power through all of the work for one class in that day. I do that for like 2 weeks, and then I'd have finished all the work for the, you know, for the term, for the 3 months period. And of course there'd be like some remarking to be done, but I spent the rest of my time working on writing stuff actually, the stuff I used to pay for YouTube eventually. So yeah, you can do the same logic in Minecraft. You can do a lot of work up front, and then save yourself a lot of effort in the long run, and it feels kind of cool just having a huge amount of beef, in my opinion at least. Maybe you disagree, maybe you disagree with my disagreeing, maybe you disagree with the notion of disagreeing to begin with. Maybe you think that when you don't agree with someone, that really that deserves its own term. You tell me in the comments. Please don't actually, that sounds like a terrible conversation to have. But thank you very much for watching this video. Wait, I just realized I have the perfect book for this sword. I put the smite on there, I put the mending on there, and then I've got my same old sword from before. I don't know if it'll actually take these things. But this can be the perfect end use for all this experience. Oh, it's literally 2 experience levels. But now the Bane of Arthropods goes away. Oh, it should go away. Oh, Smite 4 isn't as high a level, so it doesn't overwrite it. So yeah, I need to get another Smite 4 book, combine it with this book, and then put it on the sword. And boom, I can have a perfect sword. But yeah, it's just a reminder that you need experience to do a lot of things. And you might as well do experience things while doing other important things, and those other important things can save you a lot of uptime. And yeah, it's a very efficient way to play Minecraft, and who doesn't love efficiency? I mean, I prefer Silk Touch personally, but yeah, no, thank you very much for watching. It's 3 AM. This video is going to get worse if I keep making it, so I'm just going to leave you now. Bye.